South American electoral authorities may want to consider the soccer calendar when setting the date for the next vote. That seemed to be the lesson from Colombia, where the excitement for its first World Cup outing since 2018 spilled into the political arena ahead of a presidential runoff on June 21.
Israel's military carried out a spate of attacks in Gaza, continuing its bombardment despite the ceasefire that remains in place on paper, as Palestinian factions prepare to convene in Egypt to discuss the enclave's future. In Friday morning's attack, an Israeli drone killed a young woman and injured at least 15 others in the southern Khan Yunis area, according to the Palestinian Wafa news agency.
Italy's Flavio Cobolli said he was sad and happy at the same time after reaching his first Grand Slam final at the French Open on Friday, following the last-minute withdrawal due to illness of his last four opponent and compatriot Matteo Arnaldi. The 24-year-old 10th seed will meet Alexander Zverev in Sunday's final, which will produce a new major champion after the German second seed earlier moved past Jakub Mensik in the other semi-final. Iran's World Cup football players have been granted visas to enter the United States, according to a White House official, just 10 days before their first match in Los Angeles amid a conflict between the two countries. Iran's ambassador to Mexico, Abolfazl Pasandideh, said late on Thursday the squad had still not received their US visas, but these were granted overnight, the White House official said.
A former IBM cybersecurity executive accused the company of getting hacked 3 times in the previous decade by foreign governments and then covering up the breaches in a lawsuit unsealed this week, but filed in 2020. William Barlow, who was IBM's vice president of threat intelligence until August 2019, said IBM concluded Chinese hackers breached its core network between 2013 and 2016, but that the company then covered up the breaches and never disclosed them. Barlow also said at least 2 IBM subsidiaries were also breached and that IBM covered up those breaches as well.
WhatsApp is rolling out Meta Business AI Agent, an AI-powered assistant that helps businesses automate customer support and manage conversations with customers. The feature is now available to businesses worldwide, regardless of their size. It works with the latest WhatsApp business updates for Android and iOS. Businesses that do not see the feature on the latest tools page should update WhatsApp Business to the latest version.
Wall Street's 9-week winning streak ended with a thud on Friday as red-hot technology stocks suffered their largest daily decline this year after a hot May jobs of a hawkish policy pivot from the US Federal Reserve. Selling was concentrated among chip stocks and other technology favourites that have surged higher in recent weeks, as the Nasdaq Composite Index and S&P 500 rose repeatedly to fresh highs. India's youth have had enough after years of exam scandals, persistently high unemployment and opportunities slipping further out of reach. Simmering frustration is boiling into open anger online and on the streets, and a demand for accountability that many say they can no longer ignore.
Anthropic is proposing that the world's top artificial intelligence companies come up with a coordinated way to pause development of advanced AI systems, warning that the technology is improving so quickly. The company behind the Claude chatbot said in a blog post on Thursday that, as cutting-edge AI gets increasingly faster at carrying out tasks, it would be good for the world to have the option to slow or temporarily pause its development.
French anti-terrorism prosecutors say they have opened a preliminary investigation into suspected tort and war crimes over Israel's alleged mistreatment of French activists who took part in a Gaza-bound aid flotilla last month. The probe was opened on Friday following a referral from the Foreign Ministry late last month, said the National Counter-Terrorism Prosecutor's Office, PNAT, after activists on the global Sumud flotilla accused Israeli authorities of severe mistreatment during their detention. Founders, your window to enter Startup Battlefield 200 closes in just 3 short days. Applications for Startup Battlefield 200 officially close on June 8, 11:59 p.m. PT. Now's not the time to wait any longer. Secure your shot at competing on the Disrupt stage at TechCrunch. Disrupt 2026 this October at San Francisco's Moscone West.
Russian President Vladimir Putin has said he does not see any point in meeting Volodymyr Zelensky after the Ukrainian leader requested face-to-face talks over ending the war between the two nations. Zelensky sent an open letter on Thursday calling for direct negotiations with Putin, writing that it was wrong to simply wait for the war, which began with Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022, to become the focus of US attention once more.
Russia's President Vladimir Putin has turned down an offer for in-person talks with his Ukrainian counterpart Volodymyr Zelensky, saying he sees no point in such a meeting for now. Putin delivered the remarks during Russia's flagship economic forum in St. Petersburg on Friday, a day after Zelensky shared an open letter appealing for a face-to-face meeting in which the two leaders could hash out an end to the war.
Israel is still attacking Lebanon. Even after the United States announced another ceasefire, Hezbollah has continued fighting too, though it was not part of talks between the Israeli and Lebanese governments in Washington.
Federal judge has struck sweeping restrictions imposed by the administration of US President Donald Trump on immigration processing for 39 countries. The ruling on Friday by District Judge John McConnell condemned the restrictions imposed in November 2025, following the Washington, D.C. shooting of 2 National Guard members. SpaceX has lined up another compute deal ahead of its historic IPO, this time with Google. The company announced the deal in a regulatory filing on Friday. Under the terms of the deal, Google will pay SpaceX $920 million per month from October 2026 through June 2029 for access to approximately 110,000 NVIDIA GPUs, CPUs, memory, and other related components. As summer begins and mosquitoes return in force, artificial intelligence is now being used in an attempt to fight them. Inventor Stephen Cheng has developed a series of prototypes that use machine learning to identify, track, and kill mosquitoes with lasers. He has been sharing the project on X, where he has posted videos of the mobile mosquito defense system.
Shenzhen-based company Star Navi is selling radar-absorbing coatings that could make drones harder to detect and track on modern radar systems. The technology is being marketed through the X-Ram C series and is aimed at reducing the radar cross-section of drones, aircraft and naval platforms. The coatings are being offered in standard containers and packages that include spray equipment.
Microsoft has introduced autopilots, a new category of AI agents designed to work autonomously in the background and act on behalf of users inside Microsoft 365. The company announced the new agents at Microsoft Build 2026, where Chief Executive Satya Nadella introduced Scout as Microsoft's first autopilot. Scout is built into Copilot and Microsoft 365 and is designed to help users reduce routine coordination work. The government of Azad, Jammu and Kashmir on Friday declared the Joint Awami Action Committee, JA, a proscribed organisation, and placed it under the first schedule of the region's Anti-Terrorism Act 2014. The notification by AJK's Home Department said the group is engaged in terrorism and has acted in a manner prejudicial to peace and security of the state. The government on Friday cut the petrol price by 4 per litre and kept the diesel rate unchanged with immediate effect for the week ending June 12, owing to changes in global prices over the past week. Accordingly, the ex-depot price of high-speed diesel, HSD, will remain fixed at 380.78 tonnes per litre for another week. The government made adjustments in taxes and other levies, which is otherwise considered on the whole price, some on higher side. Washington, the US Congress is moving to tighten oversight of Pentagon leadership decisions and limit unilateral military action against Iran in a rare bipartisan effort that underscores renewed tensions over presidential war powers and civilian control of the military. On Thursday, the House Armed Services Committee adopted a bipartisan provision that would require the Pentagon to notify Congress within 5 days whenever a senior military officer is dismissed, along with a written explanation for the decision. Norway's Crown Princess Mette-Marit has been placed on a waiting list for a lung transplant. The country's royal household has said Mette-Marit, who suffers from an incurable lung disease, has suspended official duties and will have the operation as soon as a donor becomes available, it said.
Mogadishu, Somalia, fighting between government forces and opposition fighters that paralysed parts of Somalia's capital, Mogadishu for more than 2 days has eased, with the federal government declaring that it has restored order. The violence erupted on Wednesday, and the government declared the districts of Abdi Aziz and Halwadag calm on Friday.
On the coastal road in Khan Yunis in southern Gaza, 7 university students, 4 in medicine, 2 in dentistry, 1 in software engineering, are behind the counter of an ice cream parlour. One student takes the orders, hastily filling ice cream cups, adding nuts and toppings before handing them over to a line of customers with a smile. Another moves between tables in the small seating area, serving customers, while a third manages the kitchen, keeping everything in order. A fourth handles the accounts, processing every transaction electronically since cash has largely disappeared from Gaza.
An international coalition of lawyers has filed a lawsuit with a top African human rights body seeking to block deportations to Equatorial Guinea from the United States. The lawsuit, filed on Friday against Equatorial Guinea at the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, specifically targets a so-called third country agreement between the West African nation and the administration of US President Donald Trump. Well, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz says that the European Union plans to initiate a gradual integration process for 6 Western Balkan countries wishing to join the bloc. The clear message of today is, and will remain, we want you, and we want this region and the states within it to become members of the European Union soon. Merz told reporters in the Montenegrin coastal town of Tivat after a summit between the bloc's leaders and their Western Balkan counterparts.
Loading the player. While the AI fundraising machine keeps breaking its own records, some founders are building in the other direction. Electric e-bikes, a Phoenix, Arizona-based company known for its practical and affordable XP series electric bikes, has launched 3 new brands so far this year. Juiced Bikes relaunch a new Juiced Power Sports brand, and now a premium adventure brand called Monarch, an expansion strategy that runs counter to the wave of bankruptcies that have plagued the sector. Together, Electric has put about $10 million Initiative Z, CEO, toward these initiatives. CEO Levi Conlow told TechCrunch.